believe I am live-ish. Hello. All. Hello, one. Hello, all. Greetings. Greetings. Good to soon be hanging out with folks. Why are you the way that you are? Said Michael Scott to Toby. You guys hang out, just get yourselves comfortable, pour yourselves a drink, pack yourselves a bowl, do whatever it is that you need to do while I go do the same. Excuse me. The bag's over here. Hi. Sorry about that. Come in, make yourselves comfortable. Sit around the fire. Take your jacket off. Take your shoes off. Then take your socks off. Slowly. Take your socks off slowly. Slower. 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 Oh shit, I forgot to grab another prop. That's okay. We'll get to it. Just finishing up a review, actually just finished. That's the prop, I forgot, it's over there on the weed island. Just wrapped up an edible review. Decided to pop in for a little bit, say hello, see how everyone's doing on this beautiful, wonderful Friday night. Hopefully beautiful and wonderful where you're at. But perhaps also a tad presumptuous. Excuse me. Billary, welcome, sir. Glad you could join us again. Public Awakening. It's been a while. Thanks for joining in. And then, of course, what kind of Friday night would it be without a little Miller time? Welcome, everyone. This is the same GMO good stuff I've been working on for the past couple of weeks now. Assume I'll be working on it for a couple more. I'm not sure. I'm already at a baseline a little bit. Going to be a little bit more incomprehensible than even normal. Just wrapped up a really good review, really solid edible. I'm coming into this experience normally where I'm about to exit, which is quite high. So expect a lot of turbulence on this bumpy ride, and that is redundant. The Pecan Tree. Welcome, Pecan Tree. How you doing, man? Glad you could join us again. Is a pecan a nut? Because aren't there so many few things that we call nuts that are actually nuts? And I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess a pecan is not a nut. That it's like a legume or something. But who knows? Also, who cares? It's mostly just a semantic thing. Well, I guess it's also a botany thing. I guess if you're a botanist out there, you're probably like, well, actually, sir, there's a huge difference between a seed and I'll be like, hey, go play with your xylem and phylum, you little botanist bitch. And they would say, don't say that. And I would say, you're right. That's a bad thing to say about you. I didn't mean to slander any botanists out there. You guys do a wonderful service. I'm happy that you are you and you do the things that you do, botanists. Even if I find botany to be very boring. Public Awakening saying, enjoying some wedding cake. Well, very cool. And welcome, Public Awakening. I already said that. Again, see earlier comments. Pecan Tree speculates about whether or not the pecan, his titular nut, is in fact a nut or not. Public Awakening says a peanut isn't a nut. Yes, I was pretty sure the peanut wasn't. The peanut is definitely a legume, I think. But I'm not sure about the pecan. Nut, I think. Oh boy, I really will get off of this topic in just a second because I was just accusing botany of being really boring. So, better stop talking about it myself. A nut is a very specific, so a nut is the thing inside of a fruit, but it's not just specifically that either, because there are other things that are within inside of fruits that aren't considered the nut. I don't know, and that's why botany, because it's all semantics and trees, man. Welcome, Stephanie, and Pecan Tree is enjoying the headband, so we got some headband and wedding cake being enjoyed this evening. Public Awakening says hard shells equal nut, I think. Well, what is a hard shell? And then what is the nut? So, like, if a walnut is a nut, well, what is the nut inside of a walnut? Is it the shell or is it the meaty? Is it the meat of the nut? That good nut meat. Billary, in with the excellent summation of this whole inane conversation with this wonderful equivalence. Nut equals semen, botany, and semantics. Fair enough. That sums it all up. Manny509, welcome, Manny. He said he's watching from Walla Walla, Washington. 509, love the videos, bro. Keep up the good work, and remember to stay stoned, my friend. You too. Thanks for joining us, Manny, from Walla Walla. Pecan Tree says he loves himself some nut meat. And then Eric Shepard, welcome, Eric, is enjoying the cherry Gorilla Glue. And Tom A. popping in as well. Welcome, Tom. Let me go back, grab a refill. I'll be right back. I'm gonna fan this up. Get it heated. Let's stand here awkwardly while it's filling up. It's like the world's slowest balloon artist. Oh, I'm going to get it cooler in here. Hold on. And by cooler, do I want it cooler or hotter in here? I want it cooler in here. Excuse me. Well, I'm back. So this is what I review. I just finished the Cannabis Infused Indica Mango Gummies, which explains my behavior right now. Pretty good, by the way. Pretty cheap for an edible gummy, cheaper than a lot of them, but hit almost just as hard, tastes almost just as good. Really, hint, hint, clue, clue about a future review. Excuse me. So, I'm trying to think of a new big live stream thing to start planning. I did start the Discord, but it is really mostly abandonware at this point. But it is going to happen. I really do very soon want to start letting people maybe call, hang out, figure out some ways to get other people in talking and hanging out with us, whether it be through Discord, whether it be through games, something like that. So I am looking forward to any kind of ideas that you guys might have. Yeah, I totally hope we can do some kind of call-in interview kind of stuff in the near future. I have most of the stuff necessary. Melanin Queen, welcome Melanin Queen, says, dude, you ever gonna let your beard grow long again? You gave me those ZZ Top type of teas. Ooh, that's a interesting way of describing it. Melanin Queen, I would say that my beard, I believe my beard is already kind of obscenely long. But that being said, I don't have any plans of stopping in the near future. Well, it is a health hazard. Other than that, I think I'm going to continue to let it grow out. So I hope to continue to give you that ZZ Top type teas in the future, Melanin Queen. Boy, that is ZZ Top type teas. Bryce Oliverson. Bryce Oliverson. Not Oliverson. Oliverson. Your Blue Haven Farms video is hilarious. Did you ever do more research on them? Bryce, no, I have not done any more research. Well, no, that's not true. They still exist, actually, and they still are pumping out all kinds of... I think they even might have either somebody is using their name or they may have gone legit, but I have still seen products from them somewhat recently, which feels criminal because those guys were very clearly scam artists. Billary says, Melanin is just looking for some tush. Well, aren't we all? Andrew Silva says, what's up? Not too much, Andrew. Thanks for joining us again. Looking for anybody have any book recommendations? Just finished Why We're Polarized, and I'm only listening to like one thing right now and looking for some good new nonfiction that is not neither historical nor sociological in scope. Been reading a lot of sociology stuff recently. Jose82 says, dude, hi from El Paso. Well, welcome, Jose. Oh, excuse me, I said Jose82. That is not right. I am sorry. I butchered your name, sir, and I apologize. But welcome. Thanks for joining us from El Paso. El Paso, forgive me for my Texas ignorance. That's the city right on the border, correct? And feel free to be even more peeved at me if I'm wrong about that. There's so many goddamn big, huge cities in Texas. It's unreal. California, for being the biggest state of the union, does not have that many massive cities. It really has one massive city, one big city, and then one city that people think is a lot bigger than it actually is. Massive Los Angeles. Los Angeles, and what even all the things people think of as Los Angeles make it even bigger. But its big city, the one that people often don't realize is as big as it is San Diego. And then the city that everybody thinks is a lot larger than it actually is San Francisco, which is actually, by big city metrics, quite small. I think the city itself has a population of like, just over 500,000, maybe edging up to 700,000. I don't know the actual number. It's small, both in terms of size and then in terms of geography. It's just a tiny space that the city is. But Texas is not that way. Texas has got fucking, million. Texas is the China of the United States. In that you have countless metropolises. Boy, we don't truly appreciate how big China is and how there are cities in China that are bigger than any city in the United States that you almost certainly don't know the name of. And that's not, I'm not blaming anybody for that. That's not, you shouldn't feel, indicted by that fact. It's just a comment upon the insane growth of China. But there are cities of 10 million plus people that you would be like, oh man, I don't know if I'd heard of that place before. And yeah, that's bigger than New York City. Okay, back to chat. Says Joe man. Joe, I'm sorry for butchering your name, Joe. Thanks for joining us. Bryce Oliverson, I keep butchering that too, says, are LOL edibles still around? I think the brand is Bryce, because the brand, it wasn't really a brand to begin with. I think people still use my guess is if you go to black marketplaces, there are not nearly as many of them in California as there were even a year ago. Not nearly as many. But my guess is there are people who are still using that brand to sell products, even if it's not the people that it was, a couple of years ago. But that, I don't know that for sure. I haven't been to a black market dispensary in some time, so I cannot completely confirm. Mario says, greetings and salutations all the way from Phoenix. Welcome back, Mario. Says, much love, respect to all ya 420ers. We're right back at you. Thanks again for tuning in. And Melanin Queen says, Wheats, think about getting a plug and play. I know you did a review, but do you still fuck with them? I do, actually. Melanin, it has been... it is March, maybe April. April would have probably been the last time I would have had one for sure. But back in April, they were still just as good as they were last year. Really, the only reason I haven't is the dispensaries that I've been going to more frequently just don't happen to carry them. But they, as of like 4 months ago, still a big thumbs up for me. And I mean, they are still in a league of their own, in my opinion. I have not done anything as good as Plug and Play since, in terms of portable vaporizers. So if you have the opportunity to find them, Miss Queen, without too much difficulty, give it a shot. If I were ever to like do a series of videos about something that isn't weed related, I would do them about how much of Chinese history is bullshit. How much stuff is taught that is just that is taught like in, you know, as factual history, that if given some kind of thought, you would realize no, that is literally impossible. Now, that also being said, China was capable of some incredible, mind-boggling, well, they really did do that shit, so maybe, you know, the podcast, or the YouTube series, rather, would eventually be called Eating a Lot of Crow. But there are some of the Chinese bits of Chinese history, especially things about warfare, that are so spurious that it's like, you know, I find it just odd that it's taught with a straight face. But again, there are also other things that are truly mind-boggling. The Terracotta Army is one of the most fucking insane, holy shit things that nobody can see it. The Chinese government apparently has been, you know, not allowed anybody other than some state closely held archaeologists to explore it since it's basically been found. But 3,000 they've found so far, intricately. Each one individually has like individual characteristics. Clay soldiers buried subterraneanly, and those 3,000 that they found so far, soldiers, are guarding the tomb of the original emperor of China, the emperor where China gets its name from, Emperor Qin. They found his tomb being guarded by the Terracotta Army that was surrounded by a fucking literal moat of mercury. Now, I don't know if there are any, I don't think there are pictures of this, which, you know, is weird, but how fucking nuts is that? A subterranean mercury moat. That's just crazy. But then also what's crazy is alleging that a warlord once buried 500,000 people alive at one time. A claim made in Chinese history that they buried 500,000 people alive in a day, in a mass execution. And then just if you stop and you think about what that entails, you got to say, wait a second. But then again, subterranean mercury mode. So who knows? Bryce says, remember the Vision Spinner pen disaster? Was that the pen that I reviewed that kept breaking on me? If so, I did forget about it until this moment. And I still have similar opinions or feelings about 510 batteries, that they all suck. The pod-based systems do seem to be way more reliable. Like, I have had one Steezy, one PAX, one plug play. I've had the Steezy for like years and years, and it works just as well. I mean, there might be some slight battery degradation, but that's to be expected after that much time. It's certainly held up way better than any 510 pen I've ever had. Oh, wow. Joe, no, I am sorry. That is, I should have explained. This is a volcano. This is weed vapor. It was what I was blowing up back there. It is, just a vaporizer. This is just, bud, just plant matter. It's a nice vaporizer. It has a big heating coil and a fan. The fan blows up the hot air. Hot air gets blown through this little tiny oven that sits on top. It's that thing that looks like a volcano. And then it fills up this bag, and then you inhale the vapor, and it's great. It's wonderful. Bryce says, what would you say was the worst cartridge you had when you were making all those videos? Probably bad now, we now know. Like, Presidential Vape seemed awful. It leaked like a sieve. Nothing. Dogs. Fucking dogs. I can't tell. Well, there would be a lot, Bryce, because I never reviewed. And this might be an actual unfair thing to have done for companies. It probably was. I never reviewed a product that broke, that never worked to begin with. But I've had a lot of cartridges that were just duds right out the gate. And so whenever that's happened, I have gone back and reviewed them. I've mentioned that in the reviews, that like, oh, this is, the first one was a dud, so take that into account. What I haven't done, though, is there's some that I've never gone back and reviewed again, and they kind of got a totally free pass, when I could have just done a review and said like, oh, this shit just doesn't work. But I know that is a possibility with these things. It is becoming less common. The frequency is going down. I'm getting just dud vape stuff, but it still does happen. And I do not tend to review them, even though perhaps I should. Joe says, oh, okay, bro. My wife, nothing but bowls. Thumbs up taco. I'm not sure I 100% understand, but I do agree with the sentiment of thumbs up taco. But, thank you for being concerned about whether or not I had cancer. I can see why you may have been concerned. Oh, Bryce. Excuse me. Bryce says he misses the OG Owl days. Well, you can tell Bryce is an OG because it has been some time since the Owl has made an appearance. I've got that image hidden in some folder in some hard drive somewhere. I should pull it out for nostalgia's sake. Remember the Owl. Okay, well, I'm going to go do a nice little dab because, you know, my lungs can handle it. Dog! Hello, dog. What can we do for you? Here, buddy. Oh, this dog is featured in that in that review. So you can look forward to that when that review hits sometime whenever. Stop staring. Another dog is staring. Doing some nice crumble here. Really like this stuff. I don't remember where it's from. Never do. I tend to try to find the best balance of THC percentage to price and go with that, irrespective of brand. So, let's go ahead and get this done. Something to air for later. Okay. Well, that was fun. Oh, I promised you a treat, didn't I? Let me go get this dog a treat. I promised him. Oh my god. Oh, shit. Sit. Sit. Take it. Take it. Take it. Go. Go, 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 go. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Sorry about that. Dogs, man. I'm gonna go, refill this bag one last time. And then I'll come back and enjoy this with you before saying, have a good weekend. Short stream tonight. Just wanted to say hello after finishing this review. Oh. Friday night, guys. I hope everybody's having a good Friday. I hope everybody is going to be able to have a nice, enjoyable, relaxing weekend. Dog is scratching themselves. Boy, it's quite the sound. You know, and I hope you guys have a well stocked up on your weed cabinet to make it through the weekend. I'll probably be working on a review either Saturday or Sunday. Gonna do another tincture that I have to do. I'm gonna do my first RSO, very likely. I've never done Rick Simpson oil ever. I'm really curious about what makes it so vaunted. Why people have such people kind of put it in a league of its own. I've still never tried it. Did get a very nice RSO tincture, so I'll be doing that as a review, hopefully, yeah, either Saturday or Sunday, and I will have, oh yes, next week I have, on Monday, I think it's scheduled as a premiere. It's an old video shot back in March, but it was fun putting together. It's the Ardent Nova review, the decarboxylator, the little weed gadget that will decarb your weed an ounce at a time and do it as they advertise, without smell, and as precisely as possible. So I did a review of the Ardent, did the Wheat's patented start to finish process with it. So my hair will be a little bit shorter, beard will be shorter, place will be a little different, but the sentiment will be exactly the same. I'm glad I'm finally getting that out there, that Ardent Nova review. It's been sitting on a hard drive, along with a lot of other old reviews that I just, once the pandemic hit, I kind of was like, oh, I had priorities shifted a little bit, but now we've all given up. So, right back to the grindstone. I hope so. Billary says, I'll like the RSO. I've been meaning to try Mr. Simpson's oil for a while, so this will be a fun review because it'll be kind of not only reviewing that specific product, but the whole RSO dealy-do as well. Okay, and with that, guys, oh man, you guys remember so well. And also, I missed Giovanni there, by the way. Giovanni, thanks for joining in. Sorry that this is also farewell. I'm going to take off. Ardent review out on Monday. I'll have at least one other review out next week. There will be more live streams next week. I may do a live stream this weekend. Probably not, but I might. And I might post it on Twitter. All right, so you guys have a wonderful evening. And as Bryce said, I'm out here getting high so you don't have to. Have a good weekend, everybody. Stay healthy.